did outside of Kundalini yoga and meditation is practice fighting in several different systems. And it really doesn't matter what system one embraces in martial arts. The key to that aspect of learning how to protect oneself is the teacher. The teacher should be a humble and exemplary kind of person. And I always invite people, call up a few schools and go and observe a few classes. If it feels like the students are respecting one another, the teacher is respecting the students are paying that same respect back to the teacher, then training them might be a good fit. But it can be a sacred endeavor, especially for women, to learn how to protect themselves.
Maybe elaborate a bit on that, because I feel like when the common person looks at yoga, they think of a very peaceful art and a very serene way of movement. Whereas I think when many people think of martial arts, they obviously think of fighting and attacking and protecting and defending. How can you reconcile both these worlds?
So, Leaf, let's say, for example, your wife happens to be a very lovely woman, and you and your son are walking down the street, and somebody crosses your path, and he starts to make eyes with your wife. Not only that, he goes beyond that and says, "Whoa, hey, honey, gee, what are you doing with this guy?" Or God knows what Leaf can happen these days because people are so on the edge with the stress for almost, going on 2 years that COVID provides. So what are you going to do? I mean, are you ready to say to that person, "Hey, please don't even go here, my friend. You don't want to do this with me because you're going to regret it if you do." Do I have to say anything further to you? You want to let them know right away that this is not someone you want, I'm not someone you want to screw around with. You can apologize to my wife or not and keep going. It's that simple, Leaf. Life presents many situations to us where we can speak up in and support and in defense of others who are being wronged, or we may be the target of that at any point, anywhere we go in life. People can violate our homes these days if they want to enough. Are you prepared to protect your family and your home? Are you prepared to protect your wife and your son if necessary? If not, then, embracing learning how to protect yourself can be a practical methodology. And it's not like I ever have any intention to use my decades of training. And I always want to smile and try to help educate someone. I look I'm in the middle of writing another book on the sacredness of being a spiritual warrior. And it's all about, you know, creating opportunities to help people learn important lessons who may not be behaving appropriately. And only if absolutely necessary, telling them, do we need to go out back and talk about this? That kind of thing. Is
So
that clear enough for you, sir?
absolutely, what I'm hearing is that because we live in a
You just froze. Your Wi-Fi just froze. I'm not hearing Leaf. Whoops. So anyway, my book on sadhana helps one who's interested in Kundalini yoga embrace it. And that book is also under revision. And I'll be adding a lot of new recipes. I'm a very strict vegetarian for about 50 years. And in lockdown, I have embraced cooking with an instant pot. So I have many, many recipes. I'll have a whole instant pot section in my new revised book uh, on, vegetarian and vegan instant pot recipes. So looking forward to you coming back, Leaf. And in the meantime, until you come back, I don't know if I'm even on here. Jesse, am I on? So we have, I'll show you some more of our kirpans. This is a compact kirpan, beautifully laser engraved in sapphire kieranite. And we make these, this is a small one. We make these in 3 different sizes, so they get bigger from here. And here's a beautiful pin in gold, silver, and yellow sapphire and pink sapphire. Here's another beautiful pin in gold, silver, and diamonds. A simple necklace in carnelian and sterling silver with the Kunda symbol of infinity. Are you back, Leaf? Yeah, I've got a frozen. All right, there you are. Okay. All right, I was showing people some of our things in the meantime. So here's the last one I took. This is the Kanda Kirpan and the Adi Shakti or Kanda symbol. And this is heavy gold on sterling silver. And these are, I call these, and we make these in 2 different sizes now. And this is the smallest. And these are traditional kinds of weapons that Sikhs used because Sikhism has a long history of being protectors of the weak and the innocent. And it's because there was such huge religious oppression in India for generations that the Sikhs had to stand up. That's where part of, my embracing martial arts came from, although I was interested because I had been bullied a little bit when I was a teenager. So I always had the interest. I began martial arts as I began practicing Kundalini yoga and meditation. Anyway, the little kirpans that I showed you, this little trio here, very popular item. We make them in silver and also, and this is heavy gold on silver. And we call that for something to give you courage, grit, and grace. So it's it's an important element. It's a big value that we were given through our teacher. That we should always be graceful, no matter where you are. It's a boon. It's a blessing if we can show that understanding, that maturity, that behaving with grace, and that's why. One of the first byproducts I took away from intense martial arts training was that I found it deeply, deeply relaxing on a certain level, maybe beyond what Kundalini Yoga was doing for me back, 45 years ago, 45 years ago. And, now the depth of my meditation is improved to where I get, a lot more out of it with regularity. And I'm very grateful for that. But anyway, go ahead. I can. So anyway, Yogi Bhajan, my teacher, he did say to me many years ago, Leaf, he told me, son, with your artistic gifts, make things that uplift and inspire people. So that was something I meditated on for decades and never really stopped doing that. And even the whole projection of who we are and what we do. And I make that very clear to all of my marketing people. I've got like 5 different marketing entities that are helping us grow so that we can be helping heal our planet with what we offer. I invite people to read my blog. I try and speak very frankly and honestly through the blog post that's on thekhalsaraj.com. And, I share my honest thoughts. I invite them occasionally to purchase certain products that I think can help them in different situations because I've meditated on all this stuff for decades and been fortunate to receive a lot of clarity on what may help people gain the strength they need to not only be successful in any kind of monetary way these days, but also to feel personally fulfilled and blessed enough so that they're a smiling presence, on a daily basis that uplifts and enlivens everyone they meet. So I feel very grateful, Leaf, on many different levels. I have my challenges and just like all of us, to be excellent all the time, things that interfere with me, karma from this lifetime, from previous lifetimes, and it's all God's play, the way that I see it, and moving through those things so that we can be who we pray that will come and be the leaders of the world. We can be part of that solution.
I completely agree with that point. And I'm wondering if that could be a good segue into talking about some of the amazing presentations and ceremonies that you've done with some of your metalworks.
Sure, Leaf. Back in, I think it was 98, my teacher said to me, son, I need you to create a very royal sword. And we have that on the website now. That was given as a gift to Keshkar Sahib Gurdwara in Anandpur Sahib on the anniversary of the 300-year anniversary of the birth of the Khalsa. So Khalsa, Khalsa, Khalsa literally means pure one or pure ones. So he had asked me to create this very royal sword. He also provided means for many people to give to that effort. And now that sword is on our website for over $300,000. It was given as a gift, but I had to put a price on it. Even all of my time was done as seva, as service. I was never paid for anything to do with that sword. And it was a blessing to do that, to deliver that. And so that was in 99. And there's links to that, pictures of that, and links to that on SeekNet on our website under swords. You can see the one-of-a-kind swords we've created. Then in 2017, Yogi Bhajan had passed, and we were honoring the 350th, I believe it was, birth anniversary of Guru Gobind Singh. He was the final guru or final founder of the Sikhs. And he lived in times where it was intensely challenging with oppressors, with religious oppressors. And he had trained early in his life in many martial arts and was very familiar with the handling of all weapons. And he's a role model for me. He embodied the spiritual warrior. You never ever want to create any kind of a situation where you're using weapons of any type, even your own hands and feet, if you don't have to. You're always trying to bring peaceful solutions to anything that comes before you. But anyway, Guru Gobind Singh was faced with huge challenges and always was very diplomatic, graceful, and sometimes had to teach through difficult lessons. He shot gold-tipped arrows just so that the enemy's family would have um, the wherewithal to bury their family member who had passed through that. So in 2017, I was asked to create a very special sword honoring this occasion, and we were doing some manufacturing overseas, and I had them create a special sword for this occasion. And so, with my oversight, we did that. And then, quite a few years before that, a gentleman, a most respected elder brother from the United Kingdom, Baisab Mohinder Singh, had purchased the most special kirpan that I had ever made. And Leaf, you're gone again. And anyway, he purchased that from me, and I gave him a very good price. And it also became a gift from my wife and I. Welcome back. And those were given at a very special occasion in Patna, India, again commemorating the 350th birth anniversary of Guru Gobind Singh. So that is actually the most special kirpan I've created, and working with master engravers and stone setters. And I'm in the middle of another one of those right now. I have 3 custom orders at the current time, but those were the 2 one-of-a-kind, 3 one-of-a-kind presentations that we made, that were made through my orchestrating things to the Sikh Panth, the Sikh community at large. And then I've been fortunate over many years, people would see after that we created the 99 sword, successful Sikh business people would approach me and say, we'd like to create, like I had one family, and we created one for each of their children, not quite of the scale and expense of the Baisakhi 99 sword that was $300,000+, but we nevertheless created some wonderful swords. And again, I have 3 projects in-house now that have all been commissioned, that are one of a kind kinds of things. And I'm grateful I'm still able to execute and do that kind of thing, and working toward having a guild of people. I had a gentleman helping me most of yesterday, a close colleague, work on a couple of these one-of-a-kind pieces. So anyway, I feel fortunate to try to create very special objects that people will cherish, not only because of their excellence in craftsmanship and artful design, but also in the energy and the blessings that we endeavor to put into everything that we create.
So, what does a blessing for one of your artisan works sort of look like? How does that happen?
It happens just through the process of me being a prayerful person,
Mm.
and being a very disciplined person with my system of how I connect with the one creator, and then bringing that energy and that kind of uh, focus and just prayerful approach into those pieces.
Beautiful. I love that. I love that. And I think a lot of people who watch our show too would love to be very prayerful people. I was wondering if you could give us an example of a kind of prayer or exercise or practice that you yourself do that connects you with a spiritual presence, either through yoga, breathing, or meditation.
Yeah, I think we talked about me leading a breath technique, and this is something that I employ regularly, or something very similar to this. And I invite people who I meet I invite, there's one guy where I do food shopping, beautiful man who's the owner of a Lebanese kind of store, and he's a tough guy. I can see and feel all the tough guys. So he's got this, because of the eyes that God gave me to see not just externally people, but to see into them a little bit, who they are. So I know he's a beautiful man. He hires very lovely people. He's very respectful with them, all different colors and women and everybody. And I shared this technique with him recently, as well as with my cousin, who I haven't seen in probably 40 years recently, who I reached out to just to connect. So this is a breath technique that I recommend regularly. She even shared it with some of the people who do business, do work for us. And it's called 1 minute breath, but we're going to use an abbreviated version of this 1 minute breath. And the way it works is we're going to inhale for 10 seconds, and I'll do the timing on this. We're going to hold the breath for 10 seconds, and then we're going to exhale for 10 seconds. Yeah, so sit up straight. And Jesse, if you're doing this with us, that'd be a good thing. And you both might want to drink a little water before you begin, and we begin. We're going to inhale slowly, smoothly, and deeply. And again, this breath happens only through the nose. We're going to hold the breath for 10 seconds. And again, I'm guiding you. Then you're going to exhale for 10 seconds. Now, if that is very, very difficult, then on your own, you can try it for 5 seconds. But we're going to do this right now for 7 minutes. And this can provide immense relaxation when you're feeling stressed. And I always invite anyone who's going to embrace this, drink a tall glass of water before you begin. And, ideally not an ice cold glass of water, but just a, room temperature kind of water. So that water is very important for not only our physical bodies to stay relaxed, but also emotionally. Water cools our emotions. So if you're feeling troubled, if you're feeling, challenged, drink a big glass of water. It'll help you deal more intelligently, more wisely with whatever's going on in your life. So you're breathing through the nose only. Inhaling, I'm going to guide you. I'll keep the time. Inhale for 10 seconds, hold for 10 seconds, exhale for 10 seconds. Eyes can be closed if you're comfortable with that. And here we go. Again, the inhale and the exhale is through the nose only. Here we go. And you got to expand the chest, fill the lungs much deeper than a normal inhale will enhance this whole thing for you. Ready? Here we go. Inhale slow, smooth, and very, very deep. Hold the breath. Exhale. Fully and completely. Inhale, slow, smooth, very deep. Expand the chest, fill the lungs, much deeper than normal. Inhale. Hold the breath. Exhale. Inhale. Slow, smooth, very, very deep. Hold it. Exhale. Deeply and completely. Inhale. Hold. Exhale. Inhale. Slow, smooth, very deep. Expand the chest. Fill the lungs fully. Hold it. Exhale. Inhale. Hold. Exhale. Inhale. Slow, smooth, very deep. Hold it. Exhale. Deeply and completely. Inhale. Hold the breath. Exhale. Three more minutes. Inhale deeply, slowly, completely. Hold. Exhale. Inhale. Slow, smooth, very deep. Hold the breath. Exhale. Inhale. Hold it. Exhale. Inhale. Hold. Exhale. Inhale. Slow, smooth, very deep. Last two cycles. Hold the breath. Exhale. Inhale. Hold. Exhale. And relax. So this can be done minimum to do this would be 7 minutes, ideally, and can be done for easily 11 minutes. These are just specific times that it takes to begin to affect our consciousness and to deeply, deeply relax us. And you can do it for half an hour if it feels that good. It's not like there's really a time limit on doing this, but this is a very simple technique. I've showed it to many colleagues who work with me just and who are, everybody these days is struggling one way or another through this lockdown, through this going towards 2 years of thoroughly unusual, uh, programming. I'll call it program because everybody's just used to being doing their normal lives, and most people don't have the skill set, don't have the good fortune to have a technology, a system. Many do, and many may, and many do, but you know, Kundalini Yoga is a wonderful system that can help bring us inside of ourselves so you can learn about yourself and you can heal yourself. You've disappeared again, Leaf. So hopefully you're coming back soon. And yeah, I'm very grateful for every day, really, every day I'm grateful for the science of Kundalini Yoga and meditation and to the man who brought it here to us. And he's alleged to have done some things, and we are not going to get into those. Yes, Leaf, you're back. Go ahead. Yeah.
Exercise, a wonderful technique. I got into pranayama myself as a result of a chronic breathing condition that I had. I'm wondering, well, what is the motivation for somebody who doesn't necessarily have breathing problems to get into deep breathing exercises?
If they have stress, I don't know anybody who doesn't have some stress these days.
Mm.
About certain things. It depends on the person. If they're interested in trying to become a more relaxed and mindful individual, then this could be for them. Or using different. There are many things out there that can provide support to in these crazy times, in these most unusual times that we are finding ourselves. And I personally feel that Kundalini Yoga is one of the premier techniques available today that just works wonderfully. People are doing it all over the world and are grateful, can't imagine life without it. So um, it is a precious system and possibly, and certainly among the most effective things to embrace today.
Hmm. And finally, what I want to ask you about, and something that's been burning in my mind this whole interview, because I understand that you are involved in a lot of business affairs, not only with metalworking, but also generally speaking with publishing and other things. I'm wondering, how do mindfulness techniques and breathing and Kundalini yoga work into a world like the business world? Because that has always confounded me. To me, it seems like capitalism and buying and selling seems to be at odds with peaceful living. How do they reconcile?
It depends, Leaf. Um, You know, I was responding on Facebook recently to a lady who's an enthusiastic Kundalini yoga in Los Angeles, and she brought up all of these companies that offer natural kinds of approaches and products, and they've all been bought out by some of the bigger corporations. And you know, I gave her as an example Tom's of Maine. They make toothpaste, they make mouthwash, they make deodorant. You know, I use all three of I use deodorant, toothpaste, and mouthwash are all Tom's products. He got bought out, and he went on to do some other, you know, he's doing some other excellent work. I read about it recently. And so we can help the world. My teacher was very pro money. Make lots of money and you can help change the world. So I want to provide a very respectful place for hundreds, if not thousands, of people to work. I want to be more discriminating who we source our products from. The diamonds, the precious metals, you know, that they're ethically sourced at everything, you know. So we have an opportunity, Leaf. If we become very successful in business, it doesn't have to be a cutthroat thing. You know, on Face is a wonderful CEO who, you know, I also read about on Facebook these days. I don't see him that often, but saw him recently. So there's all kinds of things we can treat our employees with such love and respect and appropriate reward so that their lives are easier. So money is what money does, Leaf. We can make millions, make billions, whatever one is drawn to do while taking care of oneself in the process. And so that you can have a smile for when you get home with your family, you know, with your employees. And you know, my prayer is to leave this business so that we can continue to try to help heal the world through our excellent products and the vision we hold through teaching yoga and meditation all over the world. I'm teaching in China, you know, a bunch before, you know, in 2019 and before that, and teaching all through Europe as well. So, as well as decorating everybody, everywhere I go. So we want to continue that kind of thing, but just on a larger scale. And so the business world doesn't have to be something that doesn't do well by everyone involved. If one brings the intention to, you know, just help the world become a better place, you know, money is what money does. You can be helping the people in Afghanistan, in Haiti, you know, any number in Africa, any number of places in the world where people are struggling just for some sense of normalcy and can take care of their children and themselves. This is what, you know, great success in business can afford if one is mindful and attentive to their soul and you know, wants to explore being successful with the highest ideals for the future and for all of humanity.
Well, I think that is a lovely note to conclude on. Thank you very much, Elsa, for this incredibly insightful interview, and I hope to talk to you again soon.
Sounds good, Leaf. Thank you, brother. Been a pleasure.
Take care.
Yeah, thank you.